As Governor Opeyemi Akinyode saying, on the 21st of June, there was a letter that was sent to the Ondo State House of Assembly by the governor requesting that is seeking medical vacation that since the 21st of June, and the particular letter was or the break was extended on Monday indefinitely by the State House of Assembly, which was meant to enable the governor to recover after the treatment, according to the government of Ondo State. Well, remember again that there's been reports that the acting governor of the state, which is the deputy governor, Mr. Opeyemi Akinyode, there's been reports that is not particularly getting the kind of cooperation it should get from the State Executive Council. I mean, for obvious reasons. You look at the switch, the fact that the government eventually handed over when he first traveled. There was no official handing over, but he did it eventually, and a lot of questions have been asked. Why is it that people don't know the exact health condition of the governor? He's been out of the state for a while now. He traveled initially, then a letter was written, submitted on the 21st of June. Another letter came up on Monday again, and then there's been a lot of questions. If you go through the papers today, there were issues in respect to this particular conversation that we're having on the show today. But then I would have the Secretary of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State is going to be joining us. Yes, that is Barrister OLUSEYE OLUJIMI. He's a young person and he's been around for a while. He is the Secretary of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State, and it would help us to understand some of these things. By the way, this program is being streamed live on all our social media platforms, so you can always check it out, and you drop your comment, follow us to continue to build the social media platform. It's going to be an interesting conversation on the show today. Barrister OLUJIMI, good evening, good to have you join us on the show today.
Well, thank you, moderator. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Where do we start from? There's so much to talk about on the show today, especially as we reflect on the Ondo State in the last few months. Health is wealth, and then you would always want everybody to be healthy so that you can discharge your duties responsibly and most especially efficiently. And that's exactly what the people of Ondo State are asking. There's been a lot of questions, there's been a lot of concerns in respect to the health status of the governor of the state. That's Governor Opeyemi Akinyode said. On the 21st of June, there was a letter that was written to the State House of Assembly indicating that the governor would be away for medical vacation, and just on Monday there was another update on that that says that the governor will need more time so that he can recover from the treatment and all of that. But as it is now, there's been a lot of concerns. Before we talk about the election next year, there's been a lot of concerns as regards the state of governance in Ondo State. Maybe you want to talk to us about that. First, from your point of view as a citizen of the state, then from the perspective of the opposition, you being the secretary of the PDP in the state. Talk to us about that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me, and good evening, listeners at home. Looking at the quick system, I want the people to ask himself about how grounded the state is as it is right now. Of course, the answer is going to be to the affirmative. It's not because I belong to the opposition party, but it's because what we are saying is subject to what I call a fake approach. So, are you going to talk about the nonchalant attitude of the present day Ondo State government in trying to give a kind of coaching effect to the fuel subsidy or the bargaining that follows what we call this fuel subsidy of a thing, or other things that an average government ought to have done. So, I don't know if you want me to go into the health situation of Mr. Governor, I want to talk for now.
Okay, I think we need to start from here. Yesterday, The national chairman of the APC, yes, that is Senator Abdullahi Adamu, was in the state, and then that's at the APC secretariat rather in Abuja on Monday, and he made a statement that is really, raising a lot of concerns, and he used a particular word, that is incapacitation, and the constraint is very clear in respect to the number of days you can spend out of office before your seat can be declared vacant. But the governor, in his wisdom, had decided to make the deputy governor the acting governor according to the provision of the constitution. But as it is now, are you concerned that the people handling the health or the information of the governor are not giving the people of the states the right states, or let them know what exactly is wrong with the governor?
All right, thank you. As it stands, when we look at the situation in which we find ourselves in Ondo State, it is just a sorry case. But we have to be very careful as to the way it's going to analyze this, in the sense that health is not something one should just play a kind of happy fancy about. How do I mean? Of course, it's not the wish of Mr. Governor, as it is, to be sick, but you also agree with me that you can't be more Catholic than the Pope, or you can't be more Islamic than the Imam. Thank God is coming from the national chairman of APC about the health situation of Mr. Governor. Now, you will look at it in this way, because when you look at the function of the governor, and this we have in section 183, yes, section 183. When you look at that section, it makes it clear that the function of the governor is a full-time job. It's not a kind of...
Is that a part-time job?
Yes, it is a full-time job. I say full-time in capital letter in the sense that when you look at that particular section, it says, I may not be able to quote verbatim, but it says there shall be no, during the time you have the governor in a particular state, it is an executive office, and you are not allowed to even hold any other executive office, or maybe a kind of paid employment. However, it means that there must be full concentration, there must be full devotion, and it's a serious business. So when you are not looking at the head of Mr. Governor, like I said before now, it's not something we should be playing politics about, but the truth must be told. The truth must be told. Because I could remember we were trying to discuss the head of Mr. Governor sometimes last week. Some people are trying to say it is not his fault. But be that as it may, the governance of the state must not stop. It must go on. Because when you look at, health conditions, a good health is a major factor for any leader in governance. So a chief governor who is not fit, in his body or maybe in his mind, ought not to even be allowed to continue in the office. This is a bitter truth, So it will be so obvious that the affair of the state and the system of executive function as we see nowadays, because we are not Ondo abroad, we are domiciled here. So what I mean is the discharge of all these executive functions, the discharge of all these duties will definitely suffer a kind of neglect. It's not even a matter of it is suffering. Some neglect, we have some paralysis in some quarters of the government, we have some opportunistic intervention, we even have some manipulations by family, friends, aides, of Mr. Governor. So this is the situation that we find in ourselves. And I will quickly refer you to the days of the former governor of Taraba State. I don't know if you can still remember. History will not forgive us without making a reference to that of Governor Sultan.
Yes.
You agree with me that he was away from office for almost 10 months. Also, we have different scenarios about even the former president of Nigeria, Umar Yar'Adua. So the whole situation of a particular leader, especially the governor, the deputy, or let's say the president, is paramount, even though nobody wished for a thing like this. But the fact remains that if we definitely get to a stage where that politics is not meant to be played, and we just have to move on and give the governors to capable hands to run the government.
Barrister Olujimi, this is exactly the introduction I was looking for, because at the end of the day, a lot of people would ask, just like you also agreed on that, you need to be in a very right frame of mind for you to be able to discharge your duties effectively and efficiently. More so that you are the number one person of the state, being the executive governor of that state. But there's been issues in respect to the 2024 governorship election in that state, and that takes me to the next conversation now, which is the acting governor of the state, that's His Excellency Lucky Aiyedatiwa. Now, there's been a lot of concerns that he's probably not going to be able to carry out his responsibilities effectively because he's in acting capacity. And he also mentioned the fact that the state may not particularly be getting all that they want in terms of having a proper governor on seat. You are a lawyer and you've been around politics for a while. How much of trouble, if I'm permitted to use that word, do you think the state is in right now in terms of our governance, in terms of leadership, in terms of providing the dividends of democracy that the people voted Opeyemi Akinyode to provide? How grounded is the state right now, politically, economically, and governance wise?
Between you and I would definitely say that we are in a kind of intensive period, and with no form of remorse to say that. Take for instance, we all know what happened during the time President Muhammadu Buhari was nothing, and when the power was handed over to President Obasanjo. We are in this country. Now, the executive governor of the state, Opeyemi Akinyode, was able to hand over the power or the mantle of office
to his deputy,
or anything we call it. So he's able to look at Aiyedatiwa. But what has become of the deputy in the recent time? All these news we are hearing about him being so forth, they are no fallacy. These are the way it is. Okay, take for instance, let me try to how will I put it now? Let me try to give you an insight as to how a governor can be removed from office on earth ground. Maybe that will give a kind of a scenario or a proper reason why things like this is happening within the state, in which we are not even happy about. Now, take for instance, according to section 189 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, the removal of the deputy of the governor or the deputy governor, it shall cease to hold office. Ask me how? By a resolution passed by two-thirds majority of all the members of executive council. Let me repeat it again. Two-thirds majority passed by what? Majority member of the executive council. What do I mean by executive council? These are the people that have been appointed by the governor. These are loyalists, commissioners. These are people in power. Are you not telling me that if Mr. Hay or those who have been appointed by Akoni as a into office, are you not saying that it is possible for us to now see to sort of all these political appointees trying to give a kind of vote of no confidence against him? And we should not forget one thing too, that look here that was not in the system during its first time. Look here that his name was being sent to the House of Assembly to replace the former deputy governor to Akinyode. That's
Agbola Ajayi.
Agbola Ajayi. So this is a man that he has not really been in the system with all those people. If you like, call him a politician. If you like, call him a technocrat. But the fact remains that they did not start altogether. So for you not to have a kind of two-thirds majority of the executive council will be kind of difficult. And don't forget the fact that this declaration we are talking about, must be verified. It must be verified by a kind of what I call a medical panel. And this medical panel will be that which the Speaker of the House of Assembly, I'm not trying to say from the question we're asking. I'm just trying to lay a kind of background that will give an insight to why we have a kind of sitting governors in Ondo State. So, hello? Hello?
I'm with you, 100%. I'm with you.
All right, good. Like I said, I'm not trying to deviate from the question, but just trying to lay a kind of foundation.
I understand.
The reason, okay, good. Why we had a sitting government in Ondo State. So, in conclusion of it, we must not forget the fact that the speaker will now inaugurate a kind of medical panel that will comprise of about 5 medical practitioners. One of which must be the personal physician of Mr. Governor. Physician of Mr. Governor. And the other 4 will be knowledgeable medical practitioners who have excelled so well in that particular field. You know? So, it is their report. It is their report that will not be relied upon. And after the confirmation and maybe there is a sign of incapacitation, you know, then the speaker of that House of Assembly of the state will now publish it in a kind of official gazette. Now, the point is this: who is going to sell the card? Who will be so confident enough
to lead it,
to start it? So there is no way we still can. How will I put it now? We still can't have a kind of politics, you know, being played with the head of Mr. Governor.
Now, let me
in contrast to your question, looking at how incapacitated, let me use that word too for Mr. Deputy, it will be assured that we should know this as a fact that he is being surrounded with loyalists of Mr. Governor, who believe so much in his government, who believe that that should be end, the particular end to government at maybe a particular point in time whereby their tenure will be over, but not that which maybe their tenure will be cut off. So all these and many more are the people trying to play all this hanky-panky and trying to you know, to do a kind of subterfuge. So for instance, it will interest you that I don't know, maybe it was not duty, but since the governor was sick, there have never been an executive council meeting as we speak.
That's exactly where I'm going to. I was speaking to a colleague of mine in Ondo State a couple of days back, and he told me that there are even words that the acting governor cannot call the commissioners for a state executive council meeting. That's why I brought the issue of how grounded, yes, it should be grounded, is politics and leadership and governance in Ondo State. We'll come back to that question. Now, let me give you a quick quote, and this is coming from the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, Senator Abdullahi Adamu. He was telling party members in Abuja on Monday that the governor of Ondo State is extremely incapacitated. And let me read this quote. He said, "We regret to announce the extreme incapacity of the governor of Ondo State, whom we understand has been hospitalized overseas." And in response to that, the acting governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, had come out to say that he spoke to the governor on Sunday night, and the governor is in good health. He even appreciated him and the State Executive Council for holding forth for him while he's away. Now, I understand the fact that they have the right to, you know, preserve or keep the health status of the governor, but in the name of democracy, in the name of accountability, I remember also that being up to the 2007 election, the former governor of Katsina State, the late president, that's OLUSEYE Olujimi, the campaign, I remember the scenario where the former president Obasanjo had to call Yar'Adua at the PDP campaign ground and put the phone on speaker, because the Nigerians were asking that they want to know the health status of the flag bearer of the main party for the presidential election. And we've also seen all of these things as well. Do you think Ondo State people deserve to know the health state of the governor? I mean, they voted for him. He's supposed to be the governor that they voted for, that will take them till next year's election. And the fact that, you know, words on the street is what is giving the people this information. How disappointed are you with this scenario?
Well, I think I am more than disappointed, because when you start playing politics that is not, when you start playing politics the way it's not ought to be done, it can be so disappointing. Take for instance, the people decide to say a particular thing that, of course, being the work of opposition, we have to wake them up from that slumber and put them on their toes before the second letter was written to the House of Assembly. And now, look at the situation we find ourselves in the state. are being doing that because there must be a continuity to government. But are they saying that the deputy governor is even up and doing, even though before the first condition of Mr. Government? Of course, like I keep saying it, I've said it in many forums, and I don't hide it. Even being an opposition, the governor of Ondo State has some areas in which we can hardly force him. We can't force him in the area of security. He is trying on the cool or on the time to give the state a kind of to make it a secure place. But when you look at his performance generally, you will realize that he has even performed below expectation even before the issue of his health. When you look at the amount of money we are making in Ondo State, of course, we are all producing states. Take for instance, during last year, November 2022, last year December, the state got an allocation of over 8.8 billion naira. While the new government got about 4.3 billion naira. What do we have to show for this? Important to that, being part of all producing states, don't forget the fact that we still have access to share the 13% what they call
derivation fees.
The derivation fund. So what do we have to show for all things? Of course, we add history with the hiring news of how on the basis it's in public domain about how some of the family have been acquiring property up and down, how in fact, the way they've been doing. So let me just stop at this junction because we know how PDP government left this state before the people of APC took over. So it is not sad that our governor is incapacitated and as the popular party chairman has said, so we are human and I pray for his speedy recovery. But furthermore, it is so unfortunate, and even disheartening that his disciples have turned the state into a house of what I call comedy. So, and I think these are many more. They are likely situations that may further help the opposition party to grab the government come 2024. It is not unlikely that this will definitely be for our own advantage in one way or the other. Because instead of all these gladiators to put their house in order, continue with government, they are busy trying to see how. But you agree with me that it's not unlikely that
I want us to go straight into that conversation. Governor Opeyemi Akinyode will not be contesting again. He will have completed his second term in office of 8 years. And that means that it kind of opens the conversation up. I mean, in terms of there's nothing like, incumbent power, there's nothing of such. He's probably going to give the opposition some leverage. Now, you being the secretary of the opposition party in Ondo State, there's also been talks about the fact that the opposition in Ondo State had not lived up to its responsibility in the last 7.5 years that you've been in the opposition. What do you make of that?
Yeah, thank you. Well, it is normal and it is, why is the word tribe or the ruling party to say something of that nature? And when you look at the work of the opposition, have it been that we have been this particular question we are asking was asked maybe about second to third year, let me just put it that way, into the government of Akinyode. Maybe it's possible that we may say that we are trying to adjust ourselves and just wake up from our slumber. But it is so unfair for someone or for people to say that we are not playing this opposition role very well. Of course, we can always try, but don't forget the fact that PDP is not a party made for propaganda. We take things the way they are compared to the way these all progressive parties.
That's the original. I wish you saw the laughter on my face when you talked about the PDP not being known as a party of propaganda. I remember you and I had this conversation like about 8 months ago or thereabouts. And one of my bigger concerns is the fact that the election is coming again. And now let me come down to you as an individual. You're a young person, and one of the strengths that everyone had observed is the fact that there are a lot of young people within the corridors of power in Ondo State. I remember I spoke to the senior special advisor on the governor on youth very recently, and he talked about that. Now, building up into the election next year, and now from your own point of view as a member of the opposition party, what do you think is the strength of your party going into the next election? Recall that some of the candidates of your party had actually decamped to the APC. The likes of OLUSEYE that was once a gubernatorial aspirant on the platform of your party, is moved. A lot of other people as well. What is your strength? What is your chance or your game card going into next year's election?
All right, thank you very much. Let me be quick to say this. Whatever happens to you the first time, if you always believe must not happen to you the second time. Let's even assume that something happened the first time, is happening the second time, of course definitely it must not happen the third time. We have learned our lesson. Even though we are yet to have a conclusion or get the judgment from the presidential tribunal, but an election which we thought we had won on a platter of gold, we are now struggling to. But really, now I can tell, as much as it's a kind of subsidy and it's in court, now I can tell how it goes. But the fact still remains that we have learned our lesson. We have to bring A, we have to bring B, we have to bring C together to resolve our differences. And these are many more as, is what we've been doing at the level of the local government level in the state. We have to start from somewhere. We've been able to inaugurate the Constitution Committee even before this last presidential election. But don't forget one thing. It is pertinent to note that after every election, there must be a kind of uproar, no matter how different, no matter how peaceful the party is. Once they are not in a ruling party, some are bound to cross to another party. And some are bound to remain in their party, meaning my party is my party. This is what we have been doing ever since the presumed time we lost the presidential election, even though we are now in court. We've learned our lesson that we have to keep our house in order. We don't have to fight ourselves into an election. Of course, we've learned all these things, even though we are trying to learn in a hard way. If you agree with me that the last time we had a former governor from Ondo State was during the time of PDP. So I think in the context, yes, the last time Ondo State had a fresh breeze of good government was when PDP was in power. And now let me break that line. You're going to continue, but don't forget that since the last PDP governor in Ondo State was the late OLUSEYE OLUJIMI. And after that, we've had the 8 years of former governor OLUSEYE OLUJIMI, and we're about to complete the 8 years of Opeyemi Akinyode. So you are trying to tell me that the PDP Ondo State has not enjoyed good governance for the last 15 years? Is that what you're saying? No.
Okay.
Let me clear your curiosity.
Okay.
Let me clear your curiosity. Like I said the other time, you can't be more Catholic than the Pope.
Sure.
Chief Dr. OLUSEYE OLUJIMI PDP Dr. OLUSEYE OLUJIMI.
But he won the election on the platform of the Labour Party.
See, the fact remains that it doesn't matter how you get into a particular.
Okay, now I understand.
Very well. Very well. Because when you look at what he did in Ondo State towards the end of the tenure of how it is visible to the blind, like I always say as my quote, and audible to the deaf. So I was saying the last time that I stand to be quoted. So the last time Ondo State caught in that it can hack around, they had a kind of fresh breeze of good government was doing the PDP. Okay, let's look at educational system. Adekunle teacher fee. During ministry was 25,000 naira. I'm very sure some people will be there whispering that could it be the same what we had many years ago?
Barrister Olujimi, let me quickly put this. I paid only 2,000 naira from that same school.
Oh, good.
That's my alumni.
Good. I love that. Now, even though I'm not expecting you to give me the right answer, but I'm very sure that to ask you, even though you try to stand like an unbiased umpire. Okay.
Thank you. You know my position. Thank you. You know my position.
That is not saying that topic. But what we have nowadays is the payment of over 200,000 naira as school fees over. So when we are doing our shuttle buses. So don't forget one thing. This is the right time for this so-called ruling party to even prove themselves ready and give a kind of how would I say now, calmness, a kind of soft landing, a kind of what I call even subsidy, the replacement of this fuel subsidy. This is the PDP government in Ondo State. We have shuttle buses taking our students, our pupils from one bus to another at no cost. At no cost. Ever since the emergence of this government 7 years ago, all these buses, is that we heard that they are in Ondo State. Some are branded at the Ministry of Transport. Got there for nothing. So, okay, let's talk about the legal school too and various entities of our tertiary institutions. I'm very sure if I could ask you how many times you were able to get your bus free during the time you were in school, you agree with me that it was then as frequent as ever. We are not just saying this as a politician or just saying this just to make people believe this government is doing what thing. Of course, you can't do what you don't have. So let's talk about the health sector. I can remember when I gave back to my 2 kids, it doesn't cost me anything. And I repeat, it doesn't cost me anything to give back to them as well. But I gave back to them in another child because those are the places my contemporaries gave back to their own kids. Lovely, safe, neat, affordable. But what do you have of it now? Before you get treated at times, or before you do some physical operations, I was even told that you have to go and get physics to put in the generator. These are what you can ask around, and these are what you hear. So it's just so sad, my brother. We should ask where the affiliate concept of PDP, that mother and child is now. So it's just the national field. So it's a steady strike back on all these medical professionals up and down now. So I make go to say that PDP government, the government of PDP is far more better. But it's just a pity that we messed up some things to some extent. That great part about that. But we should talk about the entire renewal project. Because when you look at the system of Akure many years ago, I could remember the woman said that we have one of the cleanest, the deepest cities ever. So maybe you should work with the country before you want to give a kind of survey around Arakale or around Alabaka. It has become a kind of study of its own. You see the unkept grasses, there's no green areas, even ordinary solar panels that make a kind of a power renewal in the capital city, they are not there. So it's not unfortunate. That we have to find ourselves in this. We can go on and on, my brother, but my prayer for my dear state is to be out of this government obscurity and get to limelight. Yes.
Now, thank you very much. By the way, in case you're just tuning in, you're live on Mila 98.3 FM, and I've been speaking with the Secretary of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State, Barrister OLUSEYE OLUJIMI. We started with the conversation as regards, the cloud in respect to the uncertainty around the health status of the governor of the state, Governor Opeyemi Akinyode, OLUSEYE. Remember that he's been on medical vacation since the 21st of June officially, and just a few days ago there was an extension to that vacation, and what the state government said was that they want to allow the governor to recover from this the treatment he's getting. Well, and then I just have a feeling that there's a lot of political coloration to these things, and is leading to the 2024 governorship election in the state. I would allow you to join the conversation very soon. The phone lines are buzzing, but Barrister originally, before opening the phone lines, there are a lot of young people in Ondo State. I remember very well in 2019, and one of the youngest, a federal lawmaker that we had, they call him Small Alaji, from the SDP that eventually became to the APC, was one of the youngest members in the House of Reps. Now you're a young person, and there's been a lot of constant call for young people to get into government, not just become social media handlers of politicians, not just become senior special advisor or assistant, or in quotes, the errand boys of politicians, but actually being on the ballot, actually being at the forefront of dictating who gets what in Ondo State politics. How prepared are your likes going into next year's election? When I mean your likes, I mean young people that also believe in you and think they can take power next year.
Oh, thank you. First of all, when we look at our political party, it's a kind of gender-friendly political party, and we are youth-friendly. That one is so obvious. We are different.
Of course, the national leader of the PDP is not even 30 years yet.
He's not wrong with it. He's not even 30 years. So that will show you how youth friendly we are. And when you look at the sensitization of the involvement of youth in politics in the recent time, of course, you realize that the lives of people like us and so many others I've tried in best to prove to the world that the youth, being the future of the nation, can even prove, how battle ready we are to get to clear the hands of affairs of the country. But however, when we are looking at the next political dispensation, of course, I've said the other time, that we are more than ready. Don't forget the fact that people who haven't been enjoying the benefits of tax they have been paying for, they are yearning to see a kind of change. If not for let me go back to the issue of the young, the involvement of the youth that you mentioned the last time. If not for where people say, well, I don't use this in public a little tsunami. Of course, when we look at our young lives in the land of red that were our candidate, even though it's just unfortunate that we left all or most of the seats. These are people that are less than 45. In comparison to that of the APC, even when you look at our House of Assembly, even though we were able to clinch up, and which is not a good mark, but at least, of course, the 3 out of them are less than 40. So this is going to show you how ready we are as young politicians to get involved. So just to mention few, this is where everyone in the state belongs to, including no one. So,
Barrister Olujimi, let me put you on the spot. I'm not going to shy away from the fact that I've actually been seeing some groundwork, that have been going on in the states as build up to the election. Of course, as political observers, as journalists, you need to keep your ears and your eyes open. But so, Olujimi, I want to put you on the spot straight up. Are you missing the ambition of contesting for the governor of Ondo State next year?
You know, Ondo State?
Yes.
Well, the way I just laughed doesn't mean that I'm not capable. Of course, we have someone of my age that was the former deputy governor of Zamfara State, and you agree with me that Governor Fayoshi became the governor of the State in less than age 42 or so. But that is not the point. I believe when it's time for someone to dedicate, definitely the venues will open. So I think I will have to keep silence on that.
Okay. I just wanted to box you. I just wanted to put you in that. You didn't disappoint me. You gave me the exact answer I was looking for. Well, let's keep the conversation open. Barrister Olujimi, the phone lines are really buzzing, and the people let me keep you on standby. Well, in case you get the health situation, we looked at all of those things as well. I will give you.
Point anymore, they are not controversial. Let me not say PDP are not controversial like APC. Like this US billion for electricity, and they are not controversial. Baba, we not be small picking. So, and Opeyemi, let this program not be like a campaign. This thing, election has come and gone.
And the election is coming.
Nigeria is going to be
election is coming.
let's look for how Nigeria will be better.
Okay.
Not all these questions to come here and start boosting us, deceiving us every now and then.
Okay, thank you very much. By the way, the reality of the country is that we have our regular election calendar period, and then of course we have mid-season election. Remember that before the election this year, we had elections in Anambra State, we had election in Osun State, we had election in Ekiti last year, and towards the end of this year, we still have governorship elections in Kogi State, in Imo State, and next year there will be election in some other state, including Ondo State. So the conversation continues, and then we'll continue to have, opinion leaders join us on the show to share their thoughts. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, my friend Opeyemi. How are you?
I'm very well, Mr. Akinola.
Your friend, Mr. Akinola Tijishani.
You're welcome.
Barrister, good evening, sir.
Oh, good evening, sir.
I'm from Ekiti State.
Oh, very well.
We are together at Tipe Kontukun Wasimeji.
I'm the program.
Yes, I was in Arakale for a very long time. I stayed in Arakale. Those states is doing well, sir. They are putting party issues apart. I know Akeredolu, yes, Akeredolu, the governor, has been sick. We knew. But nobody is paying for him for that to happen. It can happen to anybody. Anybody can be sick anytime once blood is flowing in your body. But what we are saying, sir, I know the politics of Ondo State during the time of Agbeyewa. Remember, sir?
Yes,
I was in Ondo State at that period, Adashi period. I saw what happened, operation where it was very, very bad. Very bad. It was even more than a bad riot of the 2020. So you see, what I'm saying is that politics in Ondo State is gradually becoming like that of Lagos. That's a little different. But please, sir, just like Amotoso said, let us play this politics with some decorum. We will come on radio and talk rubbish about the other party, please. Let us talk about our own party. If I like your party, if you want me APC, more than that, if I like PDP, I will vote for them. If you say things about them more than 10 years, if I don't like them, I will vote for them. Let us tell the people the issues.
Thank you, Mr. Akinola. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. 0913-600-0410. More calls coming in. Hello, good evening, Foma.
Thank you, Opeyemi.
You're welcome.
One thing I could have asked your guest,
He's still here. He's listening to you.
Yes, I know that he's listening. That this is the governor. One of the questions I could have asked: what made the governor to travel? If a person had been the governor closing to 8 years and is unable to give his own state amazing hospital that people can be there and treat themselves. So, as I often say that from now, we are not sure how the people have the mind to lead us. Because if the government is being sincere, for good 4 years, it could have given the state one of the standard hospitals that across board, people come there and treat themselves and go back to their home. If the governor is unable to treat himself, in the state is governor. So for now, we haven't had the people have at the back of his mind. But concerning the election, he also asking that the deputy governor, he was unable to call for the executive meeting. So that one is not holding forth for his governor very well. So we also saw what Oshibajo did when the president Barr was not around during that tenure. He was able to hold the country for good 105 days, and everybody was happy. So if the government is unable to do that, they should shake on me, because what is he there for? If he's unable to perform his duty that his board have handed over to him, he's not yet a deputy governor. I will see me a learner. That's my take for that.
Thank you very much, Ifoma. I really appreciate your contribution on the show today. Let me pick more calls. Then we read a lot of messages that we have on our social media platforms and, of course, our SMS. Hello, good evening.
Yes, very good evening to you, Opeyemi.
You're welcome, please rise.
Thank you, my dear. As I say hello to your guest in the studio. Yeah, what is it? Thank you, my dear. You see, as it is now, if the government is not capable of holding the fort in Ondo State, that's looking forward to the deputy. If deputy should act as a governor, he should do the right thing. If anybody wants to intimidate him, the power is in him. He Even though the statement of the national chairman of the party, I don't fancy it at all. Have you suited the governor? Whether is still capable of holding the fort in major or not. If somebody is sick, it can be 2 weeks, it can be a day, it can be 2 months. What you are transmitting power to his deputy. Then you need to ask, he immediately get better to come back to the state. No problem at all. So the government should act and do the right thing for the social cities. Not all the commercial is trying to cooperate with you. So people see especially that government is coming back, but as executive governor of that state, to the incumbent governor for transmitting power to you. You don't need to look at that.
Thank you, Prince Wallace.
That's the problem that you want. Finally, please tell your best when you get back to the Ondo, very different.
Prince Wallace. Thank you very much, Prince Wallace. Thank you very much. Let me read some messages on Facebook. And this one says, the thing is all around in this country, but one state of Borno, the state led by the APC, has performed below average. I would prefer the PDP or Labour when the court grants the obedient their request. Okay. Thank you very much. Agomo Junior on Facebook. Let me still squeeze in 1 or 2 more calls before I allow my guests, to call it today on the show.
How are you?
Hello. Hello. Okay. Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks to the barrister, we said quite a number of things as regards to Ondo State question. I'm also from Ondo State. I'm from the local government. How it's become noticeable about PDP as a part of 2015, majorly giving excuses and everything.
Hello. Oh dear. Maybe you can try and call us back. I think we lost that. This will probably be the last call on the show today. Before I allow my guests to, wrap up the conversation. Hello. Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good to have you join us on the show today. Your name, where are you calling from?
This is Mr. Kenga from Mission.
You're welcome. 1 minute.
As far as the is concerned, I want to be clear. He said Minico was elected as a platform of the PDP.
Labour Party.
He was elected on the platform of Labour Party.
Yes.
Yes, I remember. So don't make him a Labour Party man, not a PDP man.
Okay.
He will Ondo State as Labour Party man, not PDP man. Whatever achievement that can be credited to him should be credited to Labour Party, not PDP.
Okay.
I stand to be corrected like that.
Yes, you're right. Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'll let you come to you, Barrister Olujimi. We're really pressed for time, and in about a minute or two, and one of the callers raised a very huge, issue here, which is the fact that the government has been in the state for about 7 years now, and the state does not have a standard hospital that can take care of the health concerns of the governor and ultimately the people. Going into next year's election, how much do you think all of these dramas, this back and forth, would play out in the election as we wrap up on the show today?
Oh, thank you. Like the Yoruba we always say, why can't you just leave it the way you make me? Like I said the other time, the mother and child health system of the state was gradually improving under PDP administration. Now, what we have of it now, it has now become the champion of the zone. Like I said before now, that Oluseye Olujimi, I do think that the way he met the healthcare was the way he left it or he's living it, he would have been another thing. But he's living it more worse than the way he met it. And let me quickly give a response to what the last speaker said concerning Governor Minico not being a PDP man. You should not forget the fact that he only used the platform of Labour Party to claim that particular ticket, and he was there for a while, of course, maybe the first time, but we should not forget the fact that and a water can never forget the source. Yeah, don't put it that way. So I can authoritatively say that Governor Mimiko is a PDP man, he belongs to PDP and is part of us. And is our leader. So that answers that. And secondly, concerning the what Mr. Motor said, that we should not have bamboozling people. What I must say is that the kind of a politician that I want to be is a kind of politician with a difference. How do I mean? One that will say things the way they are, and one that will be so upright. Either you like it or not, we still have some connected agencies that still mean well for this country. I just pray that God Almighty will help us.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Barrister OLUSEYE OLUJIMI, for joining us on the show today. I will really appreciate your time with us on the show today.
The pleasure is mine.
Thank you very much. Well, that's about the size of the package today. I've had, the Secretary of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State, Barrister OLUSEYE OLUJIMI, join us on the show, and we've looked at, the health concerns of the governor of the state. It's been away officially from the 21st of June, and there was another letter that was written to extend his time being away, and we have the acting governor, the deputy governor, His Excellency Lucky Ayedatiwa, and of course, we build up to the 2024 election in the state. It's been the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM. This program comes up on the airwaves every Mondays to Fridays from 4 to 5 p.m. We look at politics, policies, governance, and leadership. You're live on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Opeyemi Akinyode. God's plan our lives tomorrow by 4 p.m. I will be back in the Situation Room with Mr. Adeyemi, the head of political desk of Guardian newspaper, and I will look at other topical issues as the break. Keep it that locked on Mainland 98.3 FM. By 5 o'clock, the news headline will come through. By 5:30, the full bulletin. And by 6, wherever you go, and the sport gang will be back. Stay safe, and don't forget that when you see something, you say something. Bye for now.
Fantastic conversations.
Good to see you again. It's good weather. You want to agree with that?
Yeah, I love weather. Trending music. Traffic updates.
Ojoba and Charity intersections is good. There's no cause for alarm.
Sports. And everything fun is right here on Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't touch that dial.
This is Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
Headline news on 98.3 Mainland FM.